Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Vague Ramblings. And this one is actually going to be pretty much on point with the name of the channel because I'm just going to ramble on for a little bit, mainly having to do with the fact that, in case you didn't notice, sort of shaved off my facial hair. Well, it's not a close shave. Like, I still got to do like a razor shave. I sort of use the electric razor, which doesn't get it super close, but it's close enough. I'm gonna shave with a razor in the morning, so this will be like super smooth. But I sort of realized as I was doing the last couple of videos was that there was something on my chin and I couldn't figure it out. And I specifically noticed it in the last video I did, which I recorded earlier today, which I'm not going to upload because I found it too distracting like 3 seconds into the video. And I had this white spot. Let's see if I could point here. And I was just like, what is that? Do I have something on my chin or something? Like, it was bugging me. I couldn't figure it out. I go and I look in the mirror, and what I realized was that I was, because I've been getting like gray hair in my goatee hair, and in person it's like, yeah, it's a couple pieces of hair. It's not too bad, but on camera, specifically over here, there was kind of like several of them here, and what happens is when I'm recording these using my other cameras and stuff, like you can see more of the definition involved. But for some of these that I'm doing on the fly, again, I'm using my webcam on my computer, which is fine. It's a good one. Um, but I'm using a program, the OBS program, which is it's a free program. I mean, it's a great, especially since it's free, it's a great program, but it does have certain limitations, specifically quality. And if you're recording something, it does record everything at sort of a lower quality than I normally like. But when you're doing something on the fly, it's perfectly fine. But basically, because it was a lower quality, these hairs on my chin, they were almost like clumping together in the compression. So it looked like just this big white spot on my chin. It was very weird because you couldn't tell that it was actually just gray hair. So I was like, I'm just not gonna. I decided just to leave that video alone. I'm gonna re-record it. Try and record it this evening. If not, definitely within the next day or two. Anyway, I figured that if I was distracted by it, I'm sure other people would be as well, and I didn't want that to stand. So, for those of you who don't know, I was not intending to have such a large gap from the last video, which was done last May or June or something like that, to the one just about a week ago from this recording. That was not intended by any means. I actually wanted to start this back up last fall, but I was in the process of moving. I moved from Chicago down to Texas, and it was just kind of a headache. I had major problems with the moving company, and I was also moving right when the hurricane hit, which caused many problems and delays and everything. Well, I do have a room that I'm dedicating to. I just literally just nicknamed it my studio room. And unfortunately, because of a mess up and it's a long story. I'm sure I'll get into another video. But basically, the studio room is filled with boxes that it's not supposed to be filled with. There were boxes that were actually supposed to go in the garage, but they ended up being put into the studio room. And the problem is now, like, I have no place to move them to. And some of them are really heavy because they contain like some kitchen stuff and everything. And some stuff that was actually intended to get rid of. So I actually have to unpack them a little bit at a time, and then other stuff I don't know where to do. So I'm actually going to take out a storage space and put some stuff in there, which should be a massive help. But so eventually, I am going to be doing these videos from the studio room, and I've designed it from the get-go to specifically be for that purpose. It's just going to be a while yet. So a lot of this is actually going to depend on how things kind of play out, but there is going to be probably some jumping around kind of thing. I assume most of the videos were pretty much going to be here at the seats, even though this was not completely my intention, but I'd say in the short term anyway, probably be done from here, and everything. So I hope it's okay. I know it's kind of thing. Might try and even kind of, I might actually get a different sort of shelving thing to actually go behind me here, to have some stuff in it, which I think might look a little better on camera. It's also going to be another YouTube channel that I'm doing that is actually for a very specific purpose that I think a lot of people are going to have a lot of fun with. It's one that is, I don't want to get too much into it, but it is designed for people like myself who, you know, outside of just loving movies of all kind, but specifically movies that are also, you know, a little bit out of the mainstream a bit, you know, more cult favorite films, more genre films, more exploitation films, things like that. And it's something I've actually have been planning to do for a very long time. And I think in the short term, because the studio is not going to be set up for a while, I think actually I'm going to do it in my theater room. And it might actually even work better to actually have it be in there. I don't know. But anyway, I'll get into that once the channel launches, which I do want to launch pretty soon. I'm just actually trying to finish up organizing that room more, because it's a slow process, because I'm trying to find the right shelving and stuff so I can get some of the piles of movies I have on the floor off the floor and into some proper shelves. Yeah, there's a lot in the works and everything. And I'd say going forward, barring anything out of the ordinary, I'm probably actually even just going to keep myself clean shaven as well. So this is more likely what I'm going to be looking at going forward. So, but some people say I even look younger than I do when I'm clean shaven. So there's always that plus involved. I think I've rambled on enough. Just wanted to kind of get a couple things out there. So I will see you guys on the next one, and hopefully that will be later on today. If not, definitely tomorrow.